this video, we're going to be talking about compression. We're going to be talking about that better quality ball striking, and we're going to be taking some inspiration from Mo Norman. Now, Mo Norman was obviously a tremendous golfer, and what he would always talk about was this extensor, this idea of keeping the club as low to the ground as possible. And he would use coins. Now, coins in this video are not going to be any use, so I'm going to use the Swing Buddy targets, and I'm going to place one here, okay, and I'm going to place another one facing you guys, and those are roughly about 2.5 feet apart. Now, I had a student, and I was giving an online lesson to this student who has difficulty with a couple of things. The golfer has a tendency to over-rotate in the backswing and the head moves, and then everything gets too tilted and the club comes down too soon. So we've worked on some backswing stuff before, but in this particular lesson, I was really keen to influence the downswing. So what I decided to do was talk about this sort of exercise. I said to this student, hey, look, let's get set up, the club's on the ground. Okay, keep the club on the ground 6 inches past the ball. Keep the club on the ground a foot past the ball. Keep the club on the ground 2 feet past the ball. Now, I understand the club's going to work on an arc here, but keep the club on the ground 3 feet past the ball. What that movement does is it teaches you how to turn the pelvis downwards in towards the leg. You see, golfers who are very poor ball strikers will have a tendency to think rotation is this kind of action. And this is why the club will come down too soon. So we spent a little bit of time doing this. Okay, and what this did is that really taught the golfer to move in this sort of direction. And I genuinely think it could work wonders for you guys as well. So when you next head to the range, you can kind of just get set up as you normally do. Okay, I'm going to position this little target up to 3 feet, okay, so you guys can see. And then if I'm here, you can just make some practice swings, striking 6 inches past the ball, a foot past the ball, 2 feet past the ball. And what that is going to teach you and give you that feedback is how to really cover the ball. So as soon as you start the downswing, you've got to try and really reconcile those feelings of what it's like to keep that club as low onto the ground as you possibly can. And then obviously when you hit some shots, you can just do exactly the same thing, okay? So you can make your practice swings like we spoke about, and then you can do some short swings. See the way I'm just trying to keep that club as low to the ground as possible, and that teaches you to cover the ball, and it will start to break those habits of that sort of horrible leaning back, and you'll be surprised how much better the ball striking will be. And then obviously, of course, as time goes on, you can just advance that into a full swing and get those same feelings that you're trying to keep the club as low to the ground as possible. See you soon.